Hello there Reason users, PoohBear here and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to very quickly go over the ShuttlePro. This has appeared in the background on a couple of my videos and I do get a few questions asked about it. It's a very simple device and it's designed really for video editing because it's got this nice little jog wheel in the middle, and you can probably see already in the sequencer I'm actually moving my marker around. It comes with 15 configurable buttons, and I say we've got an inner and we've got an outer jog wheel. The buttons are slightly raised, so it's actually got quite a nice simple feel to it, and is also quite flat as well at how it sits on your desk. It's very easy to program up, and you can use this with any software. It's not obviously just designed for editing software, and as you can see I'm using it with Reason. I haven't done anything special to make it work with Reason. As I say, all you have to do is point out an executable and then we start configuring up the buttons. Now very quickly, these are all our shortcuts that we've got available in Reason, and we can configure obviously any of these shortcuts up to any of these buttons. You're not just limited to these 15 buttons, you can actually switch between pages, and I'll demonstrate that very quickly in a minute. But as I say, you can actually put all these in if you really wish to. Obviously you have to remember it, it'll be a nightmare to remember, but you might say, hey, I might have one page to do with the sequencer stuff and you might have another page, say, to do with more of the rack stuff. So let's have a quick look of it very quickly in action. So I've got a simple button here where I've got myself a simple zoom. I like to go into my preferences, so I like to pull my preferences up. This is actually in the sequencer now. In fact, I'll leave it into this page. As you look in the sequencer, you can see me moving around, equivalent of QWERT, that's what I've got that set for. Down the bottom, I've got transport controls, so start. I've got an undo button, and this one jumps me to the left and right markers of the loop marker. In another different mode, I can actually move the loops around or jump it around between the loops. And then obviously I've got other buttons configured up here, so that's for my browser. There we go, then we can bring up the browser there, or the instrument browser. So yes, as I say, you can configure it for all kinds of things. Very easy to configure up. What I'm actually going to do is actually configure something new up. So I'm going to go create new settings, create empty settings, because you won't have any settings at all. Obviously I could copy these settings, so you can copy one page to another, and then you can just alter maybe a couple of buttons and leave, say, your transport buttons or some key buttons the same. So you can have many pages where you just messing around with the top. But I'm going to say create an empty setting. Here I'm actually going to go, so I will select reason.exe. Because I've already got reason.exe set up, it would bring one of my other profiles up. So I'm going to go for the suite, and I'm going to click OK. There's my OK button, bosh. And now you can see it says suite. Now in here, this is where I need to, under options, again, you just sort of go edit settings. And then in here now, obviously, I might say, oh, that's Reason 11. There we go, nice and simple. And as you can see, there's nothing selected. So I might say, hey, I want to do button number 1. What are you going to do with it? Most of the time I go into keystrokes, so let's put a tab in there or something silly. There we go. How often? So you've got the frequency, if you can hold it down fast as possible, how many times a second. You've got quite a lot of controls here, so I just tend to leave everything to just like a smart release and click apply. That's now working. Obviously I haven't got Reason 11 suite up, and you don't actually have to close this program down. All you have to do is make sure that you give Reason the focus back, and now Reason's got the focus. I can now obviously flip around. Now I assign one of my buttons to switch between pages. There is an icon actually in the taskbar which will actually list your different pages, and you can select it from there. But I prefer to assign a button, so I can say, well, there's my next page and there's my previous page. Or you can have, as I say, more than one page you want, and obviously you can just scroll around. As I said, this is going to be a very quick video about this. I'm not going to say, oh, you must rush out and buy one of these. It's not like it's a necessary thing. It's just a case that maybe you're thinking, oh, I might be thinking about doing some video editing, or you've seen these before. You might have one kicking around the drawer and you never thought about using it with Reason. I used to use this with a trackable, and that's when this got used a lot. I'm now back to my good old faithful, most gamers will recognise this, the Logitech MX518 mouse. I like these, even using these for things like for Reason, because I can actually do quite a bit of this mouse even in Reason itself. So down here I've got things configured up, like I've got control keys on that one, and that's my Alt key. So from here I can just hold my Alt key down and go, oh, I'm going to create myself, look, there we go, we've got a clip, I can double click into it, and straight away down here I can obviously start putting notes in if I want to. My middle mouse happens to be for an undo, so I can undo, or obviously I can come in here and just double click to get rid of that. So even without actually even touching the keyboard, I can do a little bit of writing and a little bit of editing very quickly. As I said, I've set these up to be QWERTY, or the equivalent of QWERTY. Sorry, I'm actually on the wrong page when I demonstrated that, so I should be on that page. So there's my QWERTY stuff going on. As you can see, it's flipping around between them. But as I say, it's just a bit of fun, and I thought I'd just let you know about it. But as I say, I wouldn't say rush out and buy anything like this. It's only if you're going to be using it for other things. As I said, I was doing video editing at the time, and that's really why I ended up getting it. But I have found it quite useful for doing things with reason. Anyway, before I start waffling, thank you for watching, and bye for now.